Royal Naval Dockyard at Chatham, near London, the New Zealand High Commissioner, the Right Honourable W.J. Jordan, recently accepted for New Zealand the first 2 of 6 frigates which are being handed over to the Royal New Zealand Navy. These ships, which are here being renamed, were formerly HMS Loch Shin and HMS Loch Achenalt. All 6 of the frigates will bear names of New Zealand lakes, the others being Kanieri, Hawea, Tutera and Rotoiti. The handing over is completed as the Union Jack is lowered and the New Zealand flag is hoisted in its place. After the ceremony, the officers and men go aboard their new ships, which are of the latest design for anti-submarine warfare and carry a peacetime complement of 100. When these ships reach New Zealand in the new year, they will be a welcome addition to our naval strength.
Members of the Auckland Citrus Growers Association and officers from the Department of Agriculture gather at Molos Grove's orchard at Avondale for a demonstration of tree pruning and frost fighting. The demonstrator, Mr. Nottage, addresses the crowd prior to the practical business of pruning. Working on a lemon tree, Mr. Nottage shows how by careful pruning the yield can be increased and picking facilitated. In this instance, a saw is used to take out some of the heavier wood to open up the tree. Molos Groves is also used as an experimental station by the DSIR, and here the use of oil-burning pots for frost fighting is demonstrated. At the first sign of frost, the pots are lit to warm the lower air. They also create a turbulence which drags the warmer upper air down to ground level. Another method of combating frost is the use of helicopter fans set up on 15-foot masts which also bring down the warm air and disperse it among the rows of trees or vines. Thermometers set at heights of 4, 10, 20 and 40 feet are linked electrically to recording apparatus, and experiments are in progress to determine what temperatures damage the fruit. It's hoped that these experiments will aid growers and increase New Zealand's fruit production.
In Wellington, New Zealand's only safety match factory is turning out 20,000 matches a minute. The boxes are made in the factory from local board and paper, and the printing is also done on the premises. It's 50 years since match production began in this country, but it's only over the last 15 years that safety matches have been made here. Match manufacture is not the dangerous business it was in its early days. Before a non-poisonous match head composition was discovered at the end of last century, many workers in other countries were seriously affected by phosphorus fumes. Today, matchmaking is a much more pleasant occupation. In fact, it's all done by machine. The trays of matchsticks, which are of Canadian spruce, are placed into a machine which punches them into holes on a long moving belt. The belt dips them into a paraffin solution to make them burn, and then the match head composition, which has a base of potassium chlorate, is applied by this machine. The matches then move over a series of fans to dry. The boxes are carried on a chute from an upper floor and move along to receive the matches. The essential feature of the safety match is that the phosphorus which causes the match to strike is on the side of the box, not in the match itself. This is particularly important for New Zealand as a protection against forest and household fire. The composition is here being applied to the boxes. The Wellington factory, together with the wax match one in the South Island, is filling a large proportion of local match requirements.
chemical laboratory has its own requirements in the way of glassware. It's impossible to mass produce this sort of thing. Each piece has to be specially designed and made to order. In the Dominion laboratories, the chemist who needs a new piece of apparatus is discussing his plans with the glassblower. Between them, they will evolve something to fit the exact requirements for a special job of analysis. Once the plans are finalized, it's over to the glassblower to execute them. The old trade craft of glassblowing is one of the last to survive into modern practice. In its methods, it hasn't changed much since the Middle Ages. Very few tools are needed. It's the skill of the craftsman that counts. The thing that makes glass so useful for molding and reshaping is that it has no sudden melting point. At a certain temperature, the surfaces of two adjoining pieces start to flow together and fuse. A little air pressure inside the joint smooths out the melting surfaces and keeps them even. When a big blow is needed, a good-sized area of thick glass is prepared. Here, the neck of the flask is collapsed first, and then some of the surplus glass is drawn off. This leaves a white hot knob ready to be expanded by blowing. When the protuberance is knocked off, a finely graded neck is left for shaping. First, it's squared off evenly. Then a molding tool works it into a neat thistle funnel. Bending, shaping, blowing and fusing. These are the main ingredients of the glass blower's art. From these operations, he's able to devise any pieces of apparatus that the chemists may require. It's one of the few trades in the world where it's not an insult to say, it's blown together.